Sup nerds! Welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome back to another Bookworm Brew episode. I have no idea what episode we are on. I don't think I posted one in July. We're halfway through August. Okay, we're not literally halfway, but we're getting close. I'm just like, I feel like I haven't had much. We'll talk about it first. If you guys like talking, if you guys like chatting, if you guys like coffee, because we have our coffee. If you guys like all the nerdy things, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. Actually, I do have my coffee. It's in my Captain America mug. I just didn't show you because this was the ratchetest coffee I've ever made in my life. Because I ran out of creamer. So I have like a decaf coffee because it's 8 o'clock at night and I shouldn't even be drinking this. But I just put like milk in it, and I had some syrups that I like, the French caramel vanilla syrup, or actually I think I put French vanilla. I have literally this is the thing, I have no idea. I just was grabbing stuff and then I put like whipped cream and caramel sauce on top, and I'm hoping that it's fine because I ran out of creamer. So like I was saying, I honestly just don't have much to say, genuinely. And I really do like these videos because there's so many things I like to talk about and like to mention, like besides just like regular schmegular book stuff. Like I love to talk about movies and TV shows I really enjoy, but like I feel like there hasn't been very much. Of course, I did watch the like new season of Love Island, and I had a lot of thoughts about that, but it's kind of like once it's done, it's like whatever. And so it was, you know, whatever. And I think too that show changes so quickly every week that it's like I could say something and then by the time I post the video, like more episodes are out, so it's like maybe not how I feel anymore, whatever. But I do love that show, and I was currently watching the Love Island UK, but I saw the winners online, and so then I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, so I haven't continued that. Like whatever, I've been reading a lot. If you guys did not see July, I read 20 books, and so there's not wasn't much time for like TV shows or anything. I will say too, like I've been watching a lot of, on my feed, there have been a lot of, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, of cop videos of them pulling over people in Florida specifically, and just how out of hand they get, and how people, like, all it is like a traffic stop, like, oh, you were speeding, like, they would just get a ticket or whatever, and these people are like, oh, they just go crazy. Not even the cop, it's not the cops, it's the person in the car. They just think they know their laws. Oh, I don't have to give you my ID, I don't have to give you nothing. And people are like, cops are like, you literally do. You literally have to. And so sometimes they're drunk or high or whatever it is, but sometimes they're completely sober and they're just like, you know, making, what is that, a mountain hill out of an anthill, something like that. Like they go crazy, and so I've been enjoying that. I did have some crime ones pop up my feed, which I'm skeptical about those because I get scared very easily, but I've watched a couple of those as well. But again, like not very much. I did actually want to mention, because I've seen, since Lilo and Stitch, I don't think I've seen any movies after Lilo and Stitch in the theater. And if I did, then it's very bad that I can't remember it. Oh my gosh, okay, I actually did. I went with my friend and we saw How to Train Your Dragon. I really enjoyed that, actually. It was pretty good. I haven't seen the cartoon or whatever, the original, but I thought that was fun. It was a cute movie. It really, like, it was enjoyable. I still love cartoons, you know what I mean? That one's nowhere near like a favorite, but I really actually was surprised. I was happy with like what I paid for it, and so that I paid to go see it in the movies, and so I really enjoyed that one. But the one that I was thinking about, me and my family saw The Amateur. We watched it at home, but it's actually so good. Literally, basically, this guy is like, something ends up happening to his wife, so he's trying to get payback to the people who did that. And so the whole idea though is that he's an amateur. Like he shouldn't, like people are like, you can't do anything. You're literally nobody. You're literally Joe Schmo from the street. And so who do you think you're, like, what do you think you're gonna do right now? And so it is so freaking good. It lives up to the name, The Amateur, but it's just so, I really enjoyed that. It's a little bit crazy. It's crazy to say that I loved it, but I did enjoy it. But literally last night, me and my parents went and saw Jurassic, whatever, the new Jurassic Park. We're just gonna call it that because I'm not gonna look up the name. I really enjoyed that. I did. And I don't know, I just think people sometimes have such a, they expect to feel, I don't know, they just don't have, maybe don't have a good awareness of emotional awareness, I should say, or like whatever. Because if people are going to the movie theater expecting it to feel like the first Jurassic Park, then you're in La La Land. Like, wake up. It's not going to feel like that because you've already seen so many, there's a million Jurassic Parks already. You think that it's just going to like feel the exact same? No. So I'm like, you have to like go in there knowing that, hey, we've probably seen a lot of this before, but like we're going to enjoy it anyway. And sure enough, I enjoyed it anyway. There were still moments where I was like, ooh! I was scared and I was like, no, and stuff like that. Or I was like, run! But it was so good. And so there were different things. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And so is it a favorite movie? No. I might actually watch it again. I'm not gonna lie. I love me some Scarlett Johansson. I do. But I enjoyed that a lot. So anyway, that's really what I wasn't even planning on saying that, but I forgot that I like to, I forgot about those movies because I do normally like to talk about those in these videos, but other than that, there's not much. You know, me-wise, I feel great. I feel like we've been posting consistently, having fun videos. I've been having like a lot of good feedback from you guys. I feel like we have, you know, those of you who want to comment, we do have conversations, or you comment and I try to respond back as quickly as possible. And so I appreciate that. I love that so much. If you ever have anything you want to talk about, like definitely let me know. Also, you can always visit my Instagram. I have been more like checking my Instagram messages. So if you ever want to like chat over there about a book or a movie or a TV show, also like let me know. That's so fun. But I don't post too much on there. Yeah, in general, I feel good. Nothing I feel like we need to like talk about. I feel like too, you know, you guys are always, I feel like, again, we have a great community over here. I feel like you guys tell me to like book recommendations that you think I will like. You guys tell me like videos that you think would be cool, like all these things, or you guys tell me like when you really enjoy a video, and so I appreciate that as well. So I feel like it's just lots of things are going well. Of course, do you think that I would love to quit my day job and just be a full-time booktuber? I would love that with all my heart, but I don't think that's in the cards, and that's fine because I think I just love the chillness that we have here. There's no obligations, no sort of demand here. It's just like, we're chill. We're chilling, and I love that. And so we're going good. I haven't gone to the gym for a little bit, but so this is random, but I haven't gone to, this is what normally I bring up. I haven't gone to the gym in a like week or so, but I was doing a new diet last week. I started because I was eating so many bad foods, and I was like, girl, but I couldn't like, I was thinking about this because like, I have like chicken nuggets in the freezer that are like, they're pre-air fried chicken nuggets, which is really cool that they came out with those. And so then I air fried them, so then I'm like, there's no frying step in them at all. And I love that, so they're obviously better for you. And for like a while, I just couldn't even eat them because I was like, oh, they're not like the real chicken nuggets. And so I was ordering out all of the freaking time. And so I needed something to like shock my system. I needed to shock my taste buds back into like, Marissa, you can eat a freaking sandwich at home. You can eat the chicken nuggets in your freaking freezer because you don't have money to be paying $35 every meal to order something. The thing is that too, is that most of the time I was ordering bad food. Whereas if like, you know, I was ordering like healthier food, that's one thing, even though I shouldn't even do that either way. But I shouldn't order anyway because I have food at home. But it was just like a hot mess. So I was like, whatever. So I actually attempted a liquid diet, 7-day liquid diet. So I was only drinking liquids. I'm not gonna lie, I only did the liquids for like 2 days, full days of liquid. Day 1 was super hard. Day 2 was horrid. Actually, day 1 was horrid. Day 2 was hard. Day 3, I ended up doing a little bit more research because I was like, is this actually good? I kind of jumped the gun and I was just like, ChatGPT, make me a diet. And so I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't feel good. And so I was reading up on it, and it says like, if you want to like, you know, if you're gonna go back to the gym, you want to maintain muscle mass, and then if you're gonna like, you know, transition back into eating solids, it's better that you at least eat one meal, like one solid meal a day. And so I did that for like, I would say day 2 fully liquid. I would say day 3, day 4, day 5 I did like one meal of solids, but then the rest of the meals were liquid. And then actually that's a lie. So day 3, day 4, I did the all liquid and 1 meal solid. Day 5, day 6, I ate my freezer chicken nuggets. And so I was not ordering out, and the thing is that I have no desire for it. I literally am like, I make my eggs at home, everything. I'm like, I will eat a sandwich because it just like shocked my system out of the craving for like fast food. And so I was like, oh, thank God, that's what I wanted. And so it actually worked, and I'm very happy about it. So now I make my coffee at home, like my food's at home. And I know like for some people it's probably like, girl, hello, you should have just been doing that. It's just like, I was really good about it, eating at home and like going grocery shopping. But it's like once I start ordering out, I get into the habit that I'm like ordering out all the freaking time and always constantly wanting it. And that's where the issues comes in. It's really like an addiction. And I'm like, we can't do this. We can't keep doing this. So in that regard, we've been doing pretty good. So all that to say, we're gonna play a game today. I thought this would be super fun and fresh to do a little bit of a would you rather. And so I'm looking it up on Google. I haven't found one yet, so we're gonna see what we can kind of come up with. We're gonna do obviously a Bookish edition would you rather. I thought that would be super fun and fresh. You guys can comment your answers, the whole nine. Also tell me how you're doing. You know, anything you want to talk about from the beginning half, go for it. But like if you want to answer the would you rathers, come on, this will be fun conversations. Okay, so I just found this one and we're just gonna try it. If we have to do multiple, we will. So this one says, would you rather read from a hardback, paperback, or ebook? I'm not gonna lie, the answer is ebook. Now you're like, Marissa, you have so many paperbacks. The thing, well, first of all, the answer is never hardback. Like I will never choose the hardcover over the paperback or the ebook ever. The thing is that I would prefer my Kindle every single time, but I like to have the physical copy once it's done on the Kindle. So sometimes I will have the Kindle version and the physical copy. I mean, and the audiobook sometimes too, but like for the most part, I'll have both the Kindle and the physical copy. And just so I have the physical copy, it feels like not like a reward, but like a trophy. Like I earned this. And so I will say ebook, but I do love to have the paperback as well. Does that make sense? So read the ebook, the Kindle version. Oh no, this one's mean. Would you rather crack the spine of a paperback book or ruin a hardback's dust jacket? Okay, this one's hard. I will say, here's the thing. No. I will ruin the dust jacket of a hardback. The thing is that, so I'm just thinking of a lot of the hardbacks I have, a lot of them are special, and so I don't want to ruin their dust jackets, but some books, the dust jacket you can take off and there's still a nice book underneath. That's one thing. The other thing is that my books, for the most part, you can see their spines. Like it's the spines that are the special part. So if that spine is broken, it will irk me because then I could see it. Whereas the dust jacket, if it's like a side where like you won't be able to see it, then that's completely fine. If it's a side that you can see it, I could always take the dust jacket off. So as much as that would still hurt me, I would prefer that over breaking the spine. My friend is borrowing one of my books right now. She's borrowing 2 of my books right now. One of them she's currently reading. The other one, I don't know when she's gonna read, but she still has it. I bought them both again. No, that's a lie. I bought one of them again. I'm gonna buy the second one again because I don't know if she broke the spine. She seems like the type, and so I didn't like that when I gave it to her. I wasn't like, oh, don't break the spine or anything like that. So I just need to buy them again because it hurts my heart. It really does. And I know that that's psychotic, but I had to. I have to. I literally have to. I can't do it. Would you prefer info dump on a world/magic system to a drip feed technique? I'm assuming that this just means like a very like info heavy very quickly, or like something like slow, not burn, but like slowly. That's kind of tough. I don't know though, because I kind of like to have all the info at once. I'm like, just tell me, let me figure it out. And like, because I feel like a lot of these systems and these worlds, they're kind of best learned, like, you know, like learned from seeing or like doing in a way. Like, so as the character does it, you like learn about it. But like, I hate like not knowing something and then you're like, oh, but that'll come like, you know, 150 pages in, and I'm like, yeah, but why didn't you just tell me that already? Like, why did I have to wait so long for it? So it's kind of, that's hard. But I would probably say, like, I would rather just, like, I'm thinking of those books where they, like, laid out, like, this, you know, yeah, like, our system is, you know, when books start off, they start talking about their society, and they're like, yeah, where this is the queen, and, like, these are all the people underneath, and they blah, 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 and they tell you everything, like, right off jump. I kind of like that, and then, so then we can kind of get on with the story and kind of see the system in action versus like, yeah, I would prefer that over like, you know, you don't know anything and then this girl's like, oh, this is our queen, and you're like, what? And then later you're like, yes, these are our peasants. And you're like, I didn't know that. Yeah, okay. If I'm taking the question correctly, that's what I would say. Would you rather jump on board with a book series and wait to see if it gets traction, or wait for a successful book series to be brought to your attention? I feel like you guys know this answer because I've talked about this, but I will definitely just jump on a book if I want to read it. I will say there are some times where there are books that I do want to see the reviews of if I'm going to read a series or not, and that's not necessarily... And that's not very common. It's very rare, and it's just in books that I'm very hesitant to read. And so, does that make sense? Like, if it's a book I want to read, I'm not going to wait for other people's opinion. I'm just going to read it, girl. I'm just going to read it. Or if it's like a book that I've never heard anyone talk about, and I think I'm going to love it, I'm going to just read it. You know what I mean? But if it's a book that like I don't know, that I'm hesitant to read, then maybe I'll wait for like other people's opinions and stuff like that. But like for the most part, I'm just gonna read a book. I'm just gonna read it. Like, I don't care what everyone else has to say. Quite honestly, like sometimes it makes me mad when I hear other people's opinions, whether it's good or bad, because I'm like, I don't want to know what you have to say. I don't want to know because I want to form my own opinion. And not that I can't form my own opinion when I hear other people's opinion, but like I will never know if my opinion is fully my own if I hear someone else. You never know. You will never know. Because you can't erase what you heard. You know what I mean? I don't know. Would you rather have dinner with your favorite character or author? I'm so sorry. I would rather have dinner with my favorite character through and through. Who is the question? But luckily that's not what we're asking right now, because I don't know who I would choose. But I would definitely rather a favorite character than a favorite author. I'm so sorry. I would love to talk to some of these. That's a lot. I wouldn't even love to talk to some of these authors, because I'm like, yo, why did you make that decision? Like, why did you kill him? I'm confused. And so I don't know if like authors want to talk to me, so then I wouldn't want to talk to them. It would be nice maybe to get like a different perspective, or to get, but the thing is that like you get that from like interviews that they do, or like, you know, even like following them on social media. So I don't necessarily need to sit down and talk with them to gather information like that I want to know. So I would talk with my favorite character, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Who's my current favorite? Oh, I want to tell you about this freaking series that I'm reading, because I started this series, you guys. No one told me that I would be obsessed, literally obsessed. This is The Bonds That Tie, 6-book series, you guys. I started a few days ago. I'm already on book 4. I cannot stop. I'm obsessed. It is literally so good. I won't tell you too much. I won't tell you anything about it right now. We'll talk about it probably, but I've been like truthfully obsessed. It is my choose, so if you don't like that, you're not gonna like this, but I love it. And so the series has been so good, but there's one character in here. He's mean, and I want to meet him, and I want to sit down, and I want to have dinner, and I want to talk to him, and I want to pick his brain, and I need to know. I'm like, who hurt you? I need to know who hurt you. I want to know. And so it would be him right now. You know, that's a little bit psycho, but I would want to talk to him right now. Oh, would you rather read duologies, trilogies, or standalone books? Honestly, I would probably go with a trilogy. like duologies. I just feel like sometimes they're just like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's either like they don't need to be 2 books or they need it to be more than 2 books. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like 2 is never the perfect answer. I would say, that's a lie. 2 is rarely the perfect answer, the perfect formula. I feel like it's rare that I have a incredible duology. Sometimes it happens, and like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's just like this like weird thing where it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just not, it's not my absolute favorite trilogies. I really do enjoy trilogies because I feel like sometimes that's the perfect like sweet spot. I feel like trilogies are pretty more I would say, I would argue that they're more common than trilogies, but I really do like trilogy, and I'm even thinking of like romance trilogies that I enjoyed. Like, of course, I would love like a 4 or 5. Like, my answer, if you ask me, duologies, trilogies, standalones, or like 5-book series, the answer would be 5-book series. Like, I love a bigger kind of series like that. But if like I have to choose, I would probably say trilogy out of the other 3, because I would say trilogy just because even if it's a romance trilogy, I feel like I like that as well. Does that make sense? There are very rarely any romance trilogies, and I do love a good standalone, but I feel like sometimes even in standalones, I'm like, I wish this character had a book, you know, like I want to know more. I want to see more, and so I would go with trilogies. That one's hard though. I will say that one's a little bit difficult, but I would probably go with trilogies. This one says, so I didn't even realize that people are putting, the person who did this, I'll link this thing, is answering them for her or his on their own, I should say. And she said she prefers standalones. But then she said, please remember that The Lord of the Rings is 1 book published in 3 parts, not a trilogy. But it's 3 books, okay? So we're gonna count that as, it doesn't matter. I love Lord of the Rings, but there are so many other trilogies that I just love, like The Prison Healer, Caraval. I think, I don't know, there's a series I was thinking of, but I think 3 Shattered Souls, like that series by Mike Corland, is gonna be a trilogy. Like, there are a couple books too that I know are gonna be a trilogy. Belladonna, I freaking love. Technically, the Inheritance Games, like, beginning, the main characters is a trilogy. Like, there's a lot of trilogies that are just really good. So, yeah. I don't know, I couldn't do standalone, but anyway. So this one was what made me start reading the answers, because it said, would you rather read self-published or traditionally published authors for 2 years straight? She said traditionally published, no contest. I said, oh gosh. She or he, I don't know who wrote this, but yeah, that's hard. That is hard. I don't know, actually, maybe I'm lying. The thing is that, yes, I know a lot of indie individually, is that the option? Yeah, self-published or traditionally published. I feel like a lot of self-published authors, yes, it can be a little bit unedited in a way, like a little bit cringier sometimes. Like, I definitely see that they're, you know, I would have, if I had to choose, I would choose traditionally published, but I would miss certain self-published books, if you will. Like, sometimes I love to just read like a quick, you guys, I mean, you've seen, like, sometimes there'll be like a random handful of books in my, you know, reading wrap-ups because I just found them on Kindle Unlimited and they're like self-published authors, whatever. I don't know, I hope I'm not confused. I don't think self-published and indie authors individually, whatever, I think those are the same. So I'm thinking of, you know, books like that. I don't know. Anyway, either way, I'll find random books sometimes that are not like your traditionally published books, and I'll read them and I love them. And so I would miss those because sometimes, you know, they are cornier, but they're quick paced, they're short, insta love, and you just get to scream and squeal and just, you know, enjoy it. And so I would miss them, but there's no way I could only read those for 2 years. No, I'm so sorry. If you said for like a month, then yeah, for 2 years, I'm so sorry. This isn't even a question. Would you rather read fantasy or science fiction? Fantasy every single time. Now here is the hard question would be, which one do I want to torture myself with? With high fantasy, no romance, or sci-fi? I would just cry. I would curl up in a ball and cry. I would just pick Red Rising. That's it. I don't even know if I've read any other sci-fi books. I think there are some sci-fi books that are like combo sci-fi fantasy, which I've seen. I think that's Silver Elite, I think, is sci-fi fantasy, if I'm correct. But I don't know if I've read anything that's just like sci-fi, besides Red Rising. But I've also never read high fantasy, no romance, because I just avoid those like the freaking plague. So I don't know about that. Here's a great question, because we need to talk about this. Would you rather have your favorite book adapted into a film or into a television series? A freaking film every single time. These television series, I'm scared. I'm so scared. I'm scared about it. Like, yes, in theory, TV series are great because, you know, like, oh, you can have longer, you know, you can add more into them because they're TV series. Like, theoretically, that's what I feel like. But I also feel like it's just practically, I don't think it's going to work like that. I just don't think it's going to be easier. I don't think that it's going to be the same. I guess, okay, my head just came up with an argument. We can argue Game of Thrones. I haven't seen it, but I know that was a great, TV series. People love that. So maybe, but I feel like it would have to be done really, really well. It would have to be done incredibly well is the thing if you're going to make it into a TV series. Like, I don't want to be dragged along for something that's crap. You know what I mean? And the truth is that they could mess up the movie as well. If they do a movie, they would have to cut out so much more. It's like kind of like one of those things. You know what? Honestly, you know, maybe I'm switching teams in my head because I'm thinking about the Percy Jackson movies were horribly done. But the Percy Jackson TV series was actually not bad. I couldn't finish it because it's just weird. I loved Percy Jackson when I was Percy Jackson's age, so I could like be in love with Percy Jackson. But now that he's like a literal child, it's kind of weird. I'm like, okay, you're like watching 3 like 11-year-olds. It's really weird. But when I watched, I think the first episode or whatever, it's actually done pretty well. So maybe, I don't know. That's tough. Oh gosh, I don't know. Either way, I feel like it needs to be done correctly. Like, I think they need to just put in work. I'm thinking of just like, you know, the Avengers movies are incredible, although they're not necessarily like based off a book or anything. I don't read comics or anything like that. I'm thinking of like, okay, Lord of the Rings is another great thing. Harry Potter, these are icons. Twilight, iconic books that were turned into iconic movies. And yes, there are differences, and yes, there are people who you know, are like very hardcore, like, you took this out, which I'm sure I would be too if I read a lot of those books before the movies. But I will say, like, you can't deny how good Harry Potter the books are, and you can't deny how good Harry Potter the movies are. Like, it's just, they're both equally great. Yes, they're great for different reasons, but they are both incredible. So I will say that they just have to do it right. They literally just have to work as hard as they did for those movies and make it right, or the TV shows. But that's the thing. I don't know. I named like 4 movies. I don't know how. I could probably name more movies from books that were movies that were incredible versus TV shows that were incredible from books. But my all-time favorite series in the whole world, I would probably say Throne of Glass. Although, do we want 8 Throne of Glass movies? Yes. I don't know. I think they're doing ACOTAR. I don't know that I've heard anything about Throne of Glass, but that's probably, I would say, my favorite series of life. And so if you're asking me if I would want Throne of Glass in a movie or a TV series, I would say movie. Argument over. Would you rather have to reread your least favorite book every month or never read your favorite book again? I would choose to never read my favorite book again. I know what you're thinking, what? I learned this a long time ago, okay? I learned this when I started to rewatch Twilight. I'm not gonna lie, when I grew up and I rewatched Twilight and I said, oh, these are, they're not terrible. They're just cringy movies. At the time, they were so good. They were my favorites in the whole wide world. I'm obsessed. The thing is that they needed to stay in that box in my head and not be rewatched now that I'm grown and I've seen a bunch of things. It's just, honestly, the thing is that it's just genuinely Kristen Stewart for me. Everyone else is incredible. It's so good. I'm obsessed with it. It's just I can't watch Kristen Stewart. I can't do it. I'm like, girl, I don't know what you were doing, and I don't know why we all liked it back in the day. So I learned that sometimes it's better to keep your favorite things in your memories because obviously every day we're learning stuff new, learning new things. We're reading every single day, we're changing every single day. Our opinions change. So many things change, and that's okay. That is life. So at the same time, a book that I can say in my head is my favorite, all the fun things that I remember about, I could reread it and my opinion could change. Sometimes my opinion changes for the better. It's true. Other times, there is a chance that it'll change for the worse, and I don't want that. It could just be like the mood I'm in, or right book, wrong time kind of situation. So not to say I'm not going to reread my favorite books, because obviously I would if I could, but for the sake of this question specifically, that would be my argument to not have to reread my least favorite book every month, because I'm thinking hold on, let me see. Would you rather have to reread your least favorite book every month? Yeah, my least favorite book would probably be by Never by Jessica Hastings, or It Ends With Us. No, I would never read again. I would just literally give up reading if I had to read one of those two every single month. Absolutely the freak not. So I would just never reread my favorite book. Favorite book, I don't know. One of my favorites for sure is 11 Paper Hearts by Kelsey Hartwell. I love this book so much. I've had so many people read this book. I tell all my friends. It's a cute high school romance, but it is so adorable. I love it. It gives you all the good feels. And that's how I want it to stay in my brain. I don't want to reread it and find out the writing's trash and all these things are trash. No. We're going to keep it happy in my brain, because this was definitely one of the first books I read when I got back into reading. When I started reading 2 years ago or whatever. So now I've read 350 books since then. We're going to hope and pray that it's still good if I do ever reread it. But if I couldn't reread it, I would be fine with that. Does that make sense? We took a lot of time with that, but that was a good question. I thought that was a great question, because it's I'm sure there are people who would choose to read. I don't know if would you choose to reread your least favorite book every month? No, I never. Oh, never. I didn't even see the movies. The movie. Would you rather secretly love a book everyone else hates, or secretly hate a book everyone else loves? First of all, there are no secrets here. I will tell you if I hate a book that everyone else loves, or if I love a book that everyone else hates. I will tell you. But I would probably secretly love a book everyone else hates, because I feel like if you hate a book everyone else loves, you're just a hater. It's some people don't like that you have that opinion, so then you're you're just being a hater. Whereas if you love a book that everyone else hates, nobody cares. Everyone's okay, whatever. You're weird maybe, but that's it. And so I'd rather be kind of weird, whatever. You love a book everyone else hates, whatever, versus hating a book that everyone else loves. Even though I've told you, we've done this. Happy Place, Emily Henry, no, pass every single time. And so I will say that with my chest. It's not a secret that everyone else can love it, and I don't. But there are definitely other ones as well, for sure. I guess though, so if it's a secret, then I don't care which one. I guess I could hate a book everyone else loves if it's secretly. If it's secretly, then it doesn't matter. But if it's out loud, then I would want to love a book everyone else hates. Would you rather dog ear your book or never be able to mark your place? The thing is that dog earring is not even that bad to me, because I don't know. I've thought about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm I could just dog ear this page. Sometimes I want to know when I get to halfway, but I also want to mark where I'm currently at so I can see the distance. And I'm oh, I don't have another bookmark. And I'm I could just dog ear it. And not one of my books is intentionally dog-eared. Some of them fold on accident. I've folded, covers on accident. Of course there are accidents happen, but I've never intentionally dog-eared books, since freaking elementary school, middle school, I don't know. But like to not know my place would drive me nuts. I would still probably just not want to know my place. Because the truth is, no, could you imagine closing a book, going to bed, and then like not knowing where you are the next day? But could you imagine like dog earing a book, closing the book, and then opening it up and having to like flick the dog ear back open and then it's just creased? This is torture. This is torture. The thing is, okay, let's be realistic. Realistically, all the books I like, you know, not all the books, a lot of the books that I'm currently reading or reading whatever, I have Kindle on my Kindle Unlimited, or I bought on Kindle, or audiobook. And so to be completely honest with you, I would know my place. So I would probably just choose to never mark your place again, because as much as like in the physical copy I couldn't mark my place, I would still have it somewhere else. Secret. Or I could just write down where I'm at. There's also that option. So I would not dog ear the books. I'm sorry. Some books too, I'd be stopping like every page or every other page, and I'm like, the whole book would be dog eared. No, would be creased. 2. Okay, looks like we only have 2 left. Would you rather listen to your favorite book as an audiobook narrated by the worst narrator ever, or never read it again? This is similar to the other one, I would just never read it again. The thing is that an audiobook reader, narrator could make or break a book. I've read some books, or I've read some books that I've heard the audiobooks on, and I'm like, why would you do that? And it sucks. I'm honestly like, I don't like to, you know, I don't like to be a hater. I don't like to hate on, you know, people. I'm sure they all work super hard, and so it sucks. And like, some people don't care. You know, some people just listen to it, whatever. There are some narrators that I've listened to, I hate it, and I finished the whole book, and I enjoyed the book, I just hated the narrator. So there are those cases, but sometimes I'm like, no. Some books I'm like, I have to read the physical copy because I cannot bring myself to listen to this person for a whole book for 10 hours. No. So I would choose to never read it again. We just keep it in the happy bubble in my brain. Because, like, imagine reading, listening to Throne of Glass. First of all, I listened to Throne of Glass by I listened to it by the girl, whatever, incredible. I love her so freaking much. If I had to listen to Throne of Glass and the worst narrator ever, no. Would you rather have a disappointing end / unfulfilled cliffhanger, or lose your favorite character? That's hard. That's hard. I'm big, you guys know, I'm big on epilogues, like endings. I will, if I love the whole book and the ending is bad, I will knock it stars, 1, 2 stars. I will knock it as many stars as it needs if the ending is bad. I do not like a bad ending. Disappointing ending is, that sucks. And an unfulfilled cliffhanger, if they're never gonna fulfill it, like if we're never gonna know, that's just disgusting. Like, who would ever write that, and why wasn't I warned? But I'm thinking about like the alternative, or lose your favorite character. The thing is that, like, that's so common. It's my favorite character. The thing is that my favorite character is often the main characters. It's very often the main characters. So you want me to if I lose a main character, it's a wrap. Like, I'm never reading from that author again. I'm not kidding. Like, I will blacklist that author for good. I won't do it because that's just like so stupid. And so if you're killing off a main character, no. I guess I would have to choose the disappointing ending, because at least, I don't know. Okay, actually that's all. No, maybe I would just choose a disappointing. The thing is that a disappointing ending is different than a cliffhanger ending. So if it's disappointing ending or lose your favorite character, I would choose a disappointing ending, because then I'm just gonna give it whatever star and move on with my life. If it's cliffhanger ending, like, and they're never gonna tell you what the real ending should be, or like the actual ending, or lose the main character, I would lose a main character, because I'm not going to be left, you know, feeling like the story is not complete. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. So at least if I lose my favorite character, the story's complete and I can hate it fully and, you know, have all the facts and know that I'm justified in hating it. Whereas if it leaves on a cliffhanger, you never know what could be, and so it's kind of like, no, I don't know, it's not that as bad, although it would piss me off. Like, let's be so real, I'll be mad, but like, just said that wrong. I would be mad at losing a character, of course, but if at least it ends. Whereas the cliffhanger, like, you'll be left in like the unknown for forever. No, because then you just don't know. You know what I mean? No. Alright guys, this video ended up being so freaking fun. That was so fun. Definitely let me know your would you rathers. I'm gonna link the thing that I found, because this one's really, really cool. It's Jenna at Falling Letters. It looks like it was made in like 2020, I think it was, so definitely a while ago, but it's still super fun. Let me know if there are any other games or stuff that you'd like to play during these, again, because I don't want to skip them, but I also, if I don't have very much else to say, then it's like, what's the point? I don't know. But alright guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye, nerds.